Ah, you are... Hythlodaeus. It's been a while. Too long, I think. You are of the convocation? You do? You have traveled far for it. Her name is Meteon. It means shooting star. I haven't, as you say. I judged it too early. She's a pet project of mine, still undergoing preliminary testing. But rest assured that I will attend in person ere long. I have an inkling, yes. Please wait to the main building yonder. I shall join you as soon as I've returned these creatures to their homes. An ambystoma is missing. The fashion has been to imbue aquatic creatures with the power of flight, ever since the words of Metron created a sky-swimming fish. The ambystomas too can fly, if only slightly, and they could conceivably climb a tree. Whether they can come down safely, however... Excuse me. I do not object to his attendance. Perhaps, but I believe he can be trusted. Meteon would not have taken to him so quickly otherwise. Moreover, the presence of a third party may help me to maintain composure. So, it's finally happened, then. I did. He told me that when he fulfilled his purpose, he wished to pass the torch to me. No, it's not that. For a humble researcher like myself to even be considered is an honor beyond words. No. What troubles me, what I struggle to come to terms with, is the very fact that Van Daniel is stepping down. Does this not mean that he will return to the star? I know of all this. I do. It's just... I cannot fathom why someone so great and wise, who could still do so much good, would want to end it all. Oh no, I've made her upset. Forgive me. I know I requested your presence. Might I trouble you to take Meteon outside? A change of scenery would do her good. Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along? They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace. A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby. Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white. In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions. In like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. While it has no will of its own, it is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy. Akasha, Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy. Dynamis, we call it. And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena, are Antelekis. That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will. Hardly surprising, Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter. On account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis. 'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars. Our star, Etheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it. However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%. The more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... Not that I have such grand ambitions. Nay, I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse. The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern, and so I looked to another source of energy by necessity. Precisely. A deficit of ether alone does not an Enteleki make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You'd do well not to underestimate it. Oh dear. I'd forgotten about the poor fella. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things. I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emet-Selch. Please teach it to fly. Oh, you were waiting for me. Yes, we've come to a decision. My thanks for keeping Meteion company. Emet-Selch and Hythlodaeus have already retired to their rooms. There is room for you too, if you would follow me. Elpis flowers? Ah, I see Meteion has shared much with you. May we talk a moment? I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt. Do you recall what Hythlodaeus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose, a choice they embrace of their own free will, and when they depart, it is always beautiful. Perhaps it is, but only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought. Some scarcely born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished. We make an effort to spare them the pain, but they sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear, and it is not beautiful. Yet no one cares, no one. So fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method. Pain and suffering, confusion and despair, writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures. Yet no one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Not amiss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration? Then I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I am filled with dread. But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. I won't ask what you thought as you kneeled beside the Elpis, or if you only did it at Meteon's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you. To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort. To so willingly lend an ear to ease my burden, you are a strange one. Indeed, difficult though it may be, I must endeavor to be strong like you. Lest you misunderstand, I derive no pleasure from your pain. It's just the fact that you are still here in spite of your suffering gives me heart. The stars in the heavens. Know you what they are? Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Ktisis, a world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning, that drives them day after day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars, Meteion and her sisters. Aye, sisters. She has a great many of them, and they have already departed on their journey, traveling to one star and then the next in search of life. As one might expect, exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it. But I have faith that we will make some manner of discovery ere long. And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness. It's getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep-deprived on the morrow. Come, Meteion, let us head back. Now. Oh. Forgive me. Please, forgive me. May you and your kin find peace. Wherever your souls may drift in the underworld, may you find tranquil seas. Be not forgotten, in concept endure, to reclaim form and one day live again. Serve not the star, or any purpose save your own. Live again, if that be your desire. Hate, if that be your want. We are worthy. But leave your suffering behind. Lay down your burdens, be born anew. Fly high, fly free. Leave to replace another. To be replaced. It changes nothing. Tell me, do you think it right that we sacrifice all these lives for the sake of the star? And when the star has reached perfection, what then? If all who are satisfied choose to die, shall we all die in satisfaction? I do not know. Were I to take up the seat of Fandaniel, it would be tantamount to approving my predecessor's death. I do not know if it is right. And to be torn by such thoughts, I do not know if I am fit to represent mankind. Forgive me. If you would still consider me in spite of everything, I beg some time to gather my thoughts. Meanwhile, Hythlodaeus, I fear I must trouble you to attend to the others. And you, my friend, I pray you find that which you seek. Yes, good tidings at long last. Every step of the way, I've been reminded how little we understand creation, how the universe defies imagination. Indeed. And will owe it all to you and your sisters. Whatever intelligent beings that exist out there are bound to be vastly different from us. Diverse in form and culture, possessed of unique ways of thinking. Their conception of life and its purpose will be no exception. Completely and utterly unlike ours. I have no idea. Yet whatever answers we receive, I will not dismiss them out of hand. No, I will think earnestly on them all. And I will share them with our people, that together we may contemplate our own existence. Perhaps then our star will become a better place. Not only for man, but for all life. Meteion, though I gave you wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet, learn to walk and run and so much more. And when you return, older and wiser, we will have a celebration to mark your homecoming and coming of age both. And how are you supposed to eat them? Rather than food, perhaps... a flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower. My apologies for keeping you waiting. I understand there is a matter you wish to discuss. The final days. Even you, Vana. As you say, the phenomena observed in the two calamities may both be attributed to Dynamis. Of note is the difference in its effect. In the first final days, it warped creation magics. In the second, it warped the people themselves. The key variable, I suspect, is the etheric density of the men of each age. As you know, ether, in essence, negates Dynamis. Harboring high concentrations of ether, we ancients cannot readily manipulate Dynamis, nor be manipulated by it. Therefore, rather than ourselves, the calamity affected our magics. In contrast, having been sundered, the people of the future are composed of but a fraction of our ether. Thus are they susceptible to the influence of Dynamis and its transformative potential. But that would explain only the mechanism, not the cause. Though perhaps... Dynamis is an energy put in motion by feelings. Feelings for which there must first exist a source. A source to which the victims must be attuned. One that harbors the selfsame negative emotions. Elsewise it could not be the agent of such extreme change. The celestial currents comprise the outermost layer of the star's ether, encasing it like a protective sphere. According to your tale, it was where the currents were weakest that the phenomena first manifested. If the inciting factor came from without Etheris, then its effects would first be seen in those locations. Meteion. What is it? Steady, Meteion. Steady. She has altered her etheric density in order to blend in with her surroundings, an ability for avoiding confrontation. Of course. When communicating without words, Meteion also employs dynamis. That would explain why you were able to hear her when we could not. Please, Meteion. We must speak. They are all dead. I tasked her with asking what others live for, what gives their lives meaning. Yes. Meteion. It isn't right, is it? It isn't right to turn away from the answer, even if the answer is pain. Even if we aberrations must scream ourselves hoarse to be heard. Aye. Whatever answers we find, I will not dismiss them out of hand. These words I said to you, and I will hold myself to them.
You cannot take Meteion, not until she has finished her report. All else must wait. So, it comes to this. I have no wish to fight, but this time, I cannot yield. Though the world may think me a mad, desperate fool, I will hold fast to my conviction. No! My power!
Meteion, I am so sorry. Would that I could have listened to your report in full. Reflected upon its meaning and conveyed it to others. That they might reconsider their chosen course. But I have failed. And that wish will never be realized. However, ere our fates become the province of others, I bid you tell me, just one thing. Was there happiness in those distant stars? Was there a reason for living? In the name of the star, we have discarded those creations that we deemed flawed. If we ourselves are flawed, does it not stand to reason that we too should be discarded? Perhaps it is. Perhaps I am wrong. Who is to say that you are right? Let us settle this with a determination. In my authority as Chief Overseer of Elpis, I will make a judgment on man's fitness to exist. If he can learn to value all life and retain his will to live, even should his end be justified, he will surely find a way to avert his demise. If not, he will perish in the star. As with all determinations, provisions must be made to ensure fairness. Kairos! Awaken! Command. Universal memory alteration. Target area. Ktisis Hyperboreia. Starting point. Arrival of Emmett Selk of the Convocation at Propylion. Endpoint. The present. Erase the memories of all events and replace with a vague recollection of the following. I was here, preparing to demonstrate the functionality of Kairos to Emmett Selk and Hitherdays. Meteon's shared consciousness became unstable. She and her sisters could not sustain their existence, and all dissipated with the burst. The resultant shockwave accidentally triggered Kairos, which erased several days of memories from all present. Execute. Go, Meteon, to the edge of the universe, where none can reach you. I will remain. As a man, I will oppose the oblivion you bring. Fly, Meteon! I cannot tell you how sorry I am. But neither can I let you escape! What? But how? I thought the confluence was over. Forgive me. I was preparing to demonstrate the functionality of Kairos to our guests. But Meteon, her shared consciousness became unstable. And she... Yes, of course. As you see fit. From this day forth, I shall strive to bring honor to the seat of Vandania. Meteon, though I gave you these wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet. Learn to walk and run, and so much more. A flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower.